Hello everyone and welcome to today's session. I am Roshan Jaswal, co-founder of InsuredMine, a software platform with CRM, sales and marketing automation, designed and developed only for insurance industry. For those of you just joining us, welcome. A recorded session of this webinar will be available on InsuredMine website.
Well, as several of you have joined today for a very specific topic, as we've been talking probably almost last year and a half about our integrations with several agency management system. And one of the core, or I would say one of our most critical one, and the one which we started at the earliest, it's one of our oldest integration, is QQCatalyst. Wonderful system for the middle market and the smaller agencies. It has done a great service to the insurance agencies who have been using it. They love it, and that's what got us to this point of integration with QQCatalyst. So today we're going to talk about how you can expedite your business in terms of sales and marketing and leverage or build upon the QQCatalyst agency management system for accelerating higher growth, higher retention, as well as being able to engage with your clients. So before we jump in, I want to make sure we talk about two things. One is what is InsuredMine, and what is this integration all about? So InsuredMine is an all-in-one sales CRM marketing automation platform for AMS 360 QQCatalyst for Vertafore users that converts, engage, and retain clients. Well, that's handful. I would say mouthful in terms of what does that even mean. So let's try to break it down by simple, easy, understandable statements. So when we talk about sales, when we talk about marketing, when we talk about automation, there is a method to these madness, right? Everybody wants to grow. They want to grow fast. They want to hire less, and they want to be as efficient as possible. And to accomplish all that, what do they need? They need a system that it's easy for them to understand, but at the same time can do the job that they want to get accomplished. So when we talk about sales, we understand QQCatalyst that you're using today is a system for agency management system for your policies, policy administration, but it is not a system that will do a lot of your follow-up for your clients. That is not going to build a sales pipeline or a sales funnel. That will not let you automate a lot of these communications. But you need to do all that. Those are low-hanging fruits today in terms of how do you need to accelerate your sales. Today we have Tucker with us, as he comes from a sales background in SaaS CRM. And what we want to hear from him, as he has joined us recently, what we want to hear from him is how we have seen in other industries, how the sales have picked up pretty rampantly because of automation. And that best practices, those learnings will help you just start looking at what are those opportunities. And then we will dive a little bit deeper into how that can be leveraged in insurance space, as well as we will talk about or show you some live examples of how that integration between QQCatalyst and InsuredMine works. So Tucker, why don't you talk a little bit about how you have seen with other CRMs or other agent industries where sales based on the automation has picked up?
Yeah, Roshan, thanks for tagging me in, putting me on the spot here. So, I think coming from the world of software myself, selling software, selling to software companies, some of the things that we've seen there, have been a little in front of the insurance industry today. But, insurance is growing rapidly, as we've seen, the pandemic over the last couple of years change things. We can't be in front of folks all the time. We're realizing that, our existing book of business isn't always enough to get us where we want to go and want to grow. and understanding that, we can have digital employees working for us around the clock, so we can focus on selling, we can focus on retaining, we can focus on, engaging those clients in a more direct way, as opposed to this passive opportunity that we have with the CRM. So thinking about every stage of the buyer's journey, right? From the time that they understand your agency's name to the time that they're a happy client, giving you referrals, there's opportunity for automation, connection, that you don't necessarily have to work on every day. So thinking about those individual stages that those folks go through as they move through the funnel and how we want to message them at that time. We also need to think about the world that we live in today, right? We live in a world of instant gratification. We get our fast food, we get our Amazon Prime in 2 days, Netflix tells us what to watch. We don't have to think anymore, right? It's the same when we buy insurance. When I come to your website, I expect a quote now. I expect that information very quickly, or I'm going to the next vendor. When I sign on with you, we expect this automation, this instant gratification in real time. We expect that, when I sign up with you, I know exactly what next steps are. I know how I'm covered. I expect you to know my birthday. I expect you to wish me a happy birthday. And all that can be automated with InsuredMine. So alongside that, the customer experience, engaging, retaining, converting to start with, but also, giving you the framework for a new age to grow. As you look to evolve, that's where InsuredMine comes into place alongside your existing system, QQCatalyst, which is what we're talking about today.
Perfect, thank you. Let's dive a little bit into, so then why QQCatalyst and InsuredMine? So as I said, a lot of you who has been using QQCatalyst have been pretty pleased with the solution that it offers. But obviously, every solution is not built for everything. And knowing the boundaries of what it can do and what you want to accomplish, I think it's a perfect match of these two solutions coming together. We have seen great success of the agencies using, like Brewer Insurance is one of them. They're pretty heavy on trucking, but they have leveraged these two systems in tandem of how they are quoting, how they are bringing that data into InsuredMine. So let me quickly give you guys a quick broader journey of how a prospect starts in a particular platform and then does the 360 round. So think about a prospect starting on a Facebook or LinkedIn, or through a lead source, or someone calling in, someone walking by. So all these 4 or 5 different ways a lead can come in. So if you're thinking Facebook or LinkedIn, which may be a bit more digital than the other ones, in that case, you can use Zapier, which again we are integrated with. Those Zap will let you automatically create an opportunity, or what we call as deal, in the system. And I'm going to walk you through with the system once this quick spiel is done. So it will, once you create that opportunity or a deal from Facebook or LinkedIn to InsuredMine through Zapier, 3 things happens at that moment, and those 3 things are all real time at the same moment. Number 1, it sends a communication back to the prospect, which means before they figure out to move to someone else or something else, they got hooked up to your communication. Number 2, it assigns and allocates that deal to one of you guys in your team, which means your team is already aligned with this. Now, okay, I got this new opportunity to work on. And third one, which I'm sure is obvious, that before it allocates that lead to your agent, it has already created a lead in the InsuredMine platform through that Zap. But the silent killer here is that not only it created that lead in InsuredMine, it created a lead in your agency management system. That, I think, instead of adding more work, it has just immediately reduced double entry, error issues, as well as a real-time data capture. That, I think, is just phenomenal view of looking at, how a work is automated. And now you can see your customer is engaged, your agent producer is engaged, your system is lined up, and your CRM is all lined up. All four now working for you for the same single goal, which is to convert that prospect to client. Now, everything is connected. Second thing, what happens once these connections are done? You are able to send email, text messages, voicemail, call that gentleman or the company, or you are able to just add notes internally. All that data that you are creating, capturing, is automatically getting in sync with your agency management system, with your QQCatalyst. And I think that is very powerful, because not only you got a system to work, you also got a system of record. And now you are continuing to work on that process. So that's step two. In terms of all these communications streamlined in one place. Number three is, once you close that deal, what happens? Obviously, you feel good about it. That's one first thing that happens. But the second thing is, now you don't have to worry about, I need to go and record that. No. You mark that deal as won in InsuredMine, and then you just relax. What happens, because you had created that opportunity real time in your QQCatalyst, when the download comes through IBANs, that will automatically fire off that content, which is the policy document and the policy information from QQCatalyst to InsuredMine. That completes the loop. Now in InsuredMine, which you started with a lead coming in from one of your lead source, now you do not only have that lead source data, but now you have a complete policy data. So during the policy period, now you will be able to upsell, cross-sell, onboard, and do all kind of stuff. And that's where this full cycle and then the follow-up continues. I'll take a quick pause. I hope that gives you guys or not a visual, but oral representation of how this whole data moves around and comes in full circle. With that, and if we have Kapil on call, let me see if I can add him to the, and we can do a quick okay. I don't see him, but probably Paula, you want to connect with Kapil and see if we can get him, so we can show QQCatalyst from the view perspective. So meanwhile, while we bring Kapil on call, let me quickly talk about some of these elements that we are integrating and that has that two-way sync. So number one, we talked about the prospects, the contacts, or any active contacts. Okay. And if you guys have different names, difficult to understand. And there is too hurry. I don't know which one is that. So, Kapil, feel free to rename yourself to start with. So I know. Okay, you can see your picture now. So in a minute, probably feel free to let me. Okay, so let's quickly go through this list, and then I'll talk about Kapil, how you can share the screen and show how between agency management system and InsuredMine, how the data is going back and forth. So as we talked about,
Sure, Roshan.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So as we talked about some of the things here, what were we syncing? So contacts, prospects, active clients, so they go back and forth. Documents, when you add a document in QQCatalyst, it moves all the way to InsuredMine, and when you add it in InsuredMine, it goes all the way back to QQCatalyst. Same thing with the policy data, task management, notes, and then SMS, email campaigns and workflows. These are all communications. Because they are not being originated in your QQCatalyst, we are not bringing them here. But we are originating or creating them in InsuredMine, and so we are feeding all that data to InsuredMine platform. Make sense? So having said that, Kapil, I will stop sharing here, and I will let you share. Go ahead, Kapil. You can bring your screen. Thank you.
So, Roshan, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, please. Yep.
Okay. So, let me go to the pipeline manager. Would you like to explain, Roshan, the prospecting, or should I?
Let me quickly touch base on pipeline a little bit before we jump into the prospecting. So as you guys can see what on the screen here, this is basically a sales funnel. You can have multiple sales funnel. One is for your new business, one for your renewals, one for your support ticket. You can create as many as you want. And then in each sales funnel or pipeline, you can create multiple stages. In this one, we have issues. Kapil, you logged in to support ticket here in your Kapil account, so probably you're gonna change that. And so you can add multiple sales pipeline, and each pipeline you can create multiple stages, and each stage you can build automation that what kind of communication needs to go out, if it needs to be a drip to the client, if it needs to be text to the client, what does that mean? So that's in a nutshell is what sales funnel can do. Now let's talk about the core, which is the integration aspect. So when you create a prospect and you add notes or an email to it, Kapil, do you want to show how does that show up on the other end? Or first, let's start with creating a prospect and sync that data to the other end.
Yes, sure. So whenever you are going to add a deal, it will pop up a box, and there you can add the contact name. So,
while Kapil does that, just one quick point to everybody. Feel free to ask questions through chat or through Q&A. We will be happy to answer, as Paula will be able to moderate that.
I just added a name over here, and I'm giving. So I have just filled up all the mandatory fields. If I search it over here, it is showing over here. Side card. So now I'm in the card, and right now we just added a contact and a deal card. And when I'm into the card, it is showing up a option to sync that contact with the QQ.
Yep.
So when I click on this button, so first it will search in the QQ system whether it is already there or not. So that if that contact is already there, you can just connect it with the InsuredMine contact. So there will not be any duplicacy. Duplicate contact will be created. So for example, this Kapil 10,000 contact is already in QQCatalyst, and it is showing as a contact over here. So if I click on it and click on sync contact, it will connect the InsuredMine contact with the QQ contact. But I need to create a new prospect, and it is not there. So I just click on add contact to AMS. Now this shows you like this contact is already synced. So when I go here and click customer section, So it is synced as a prospect over here with the contact information which we have filled in the deal card. Here you can see the phone number.
Yeah.
And the email.
So now let's go ahead and add a note on the other end and let's see how that gets reflected.
Okay. Let's say you have connected with the prospect and you get some meeting notes over here.
Perfect.
Right.
Test meeting notes. And then we go to QQ and go to the task and notes. Test meeting notes gets added over there.
Yep.
Pretty slick, pretty real time. The data gets added. But again, we are just showing you. So you don't have to go back and forth and looking for it. You just keep chasing what you need to do in the InsuredMine platform. But you know that data is anyways getting captured and maintained and retained by the timing, by the user, and all that. Sanctity of the data is maintained. So I know we are going into the crux of it, to a lot of details, but the idea here is not to talk a lot about how this InsuredMine works, but to focus on how this connection works. So having said that, that was number one. Number two, I want to quickly show when we send an email or when we upload a document, what happens.
So let's say if you have added a document in QQ.
Mm-hmm.
Go back. Go to the document section. You can see that document come up over here.
Mm-hmm. Are we also showing them into the card history in that particular deal card?
Oh, so basically, a contact can have multiple deal cards. So that is so there is no association, which will QQ tell us like on which card it is updating. So, but you can see it under contact. Anyways, all the policy related document comes under this document section.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
If the insured has the mobile application, then there is a visibility option. If they can turn on, it will be visible into the mobile app.
Okay. So let me quickly ask a question to everybody on the webinar here. How many of you are using any CRM today? You can just answer by saying yes or no. How many of you are using any kind of a CRM today? So John, if you're using CRM, just write yes or no. And I'll unmute a few of you so you guys can actually talk. So why don't we hear from you, Sandra?
We actually use the QQ sales room right now for the pipeline.
Okay. Are you using any automation on top of it?
Yes, we do.
Perfect. Yeah. So you got a pretty decent understanding of everything we have been talking about.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Yeah. So that's a great start. And then, so that's number one is how does this data go back and forth? The whole policy and sales. So let's quickly then talk about, on the sales side, how does this all getting captured, and we are showing it in the analytics and the sales funnel and the marketing automation. So what are you all doing in terms of any kind of a campaigns or understanding the depth of the current business data? Anyone using any kind of a platform for your marketing campaigns? How about you, Larry? All right, no problem. I think folks are on. So QQAI. John, yes, beginner. InsuredMine, yes. Yeah, John, you are with us. QQAI platforms, and okay, perfect. All right, so let's keep moving on to the next element. I'm gonna switch you out couple for a moment, and we'll come back to the platform later. Thank you. All right, so now let's quickly talk about, what are the things today InsuredMine is helping you replace. So if not InsuredMine, then what? If you're using it with InsuredMine with your agency management system, here is just some of the several systems that you would be able to, get rid of. And if you literally combine the cost, it is a couple hundred to several $100s. You don't need a sales pipeline. You don't need a service desk like a Freshdesk or a Zendesk. You don't need ZipWeb or a RingCentral for texting. You do not need MailChimp for your email blast. You do not need GatherUp or Podium, or there are several others for your Google reviews, SharePoint, OneDrive, or your Dropbox for your document management, or mobile app, that if you're using any of those. Jolt forms, a lot of folks are using some kind of forms management, and through connect to their website or for any kind of a data request. And the last one is Calendly. If you're using it to connect with your clients today, you may have several of those options, but none of these are cheap, $10 to $50, depending on the solution and the type of the solution you are buying. If you start adding them up, it adds up pretty quickly. Whereas compared to that, in InsuredMine, you get all of these and more, because we continue to not only provide everything that is available, but we continue to add more and more almost on a weekly basis. Just to give you a context, last year we added more than 600 features or enhancements. So all that comes to you at the price and the cost that is paid. So it's one-time investment on whatever that annual fee is, and then you are continuing to get all these enhancements and features included in it. So why I get really excited about saying that it is important for agencies to use a solution like InsuredMine. Several of you are using Band-Aids like, one or many of these, but the other important aspect is it's to look in the totality, and also to look it from a perspective where it is not just about doing one piece or the next piece. It is about looking at it in the larger context and then looking for, where do I want to be? My agency has been working hard to get to this point. I'll give you a couple examples. So as we know, New York medallion, the taxi medallions, in just 10 years ago, the prices of those medallions were trading at more than $1 million. Today, they are probably in the range of 150 to 200,000. What happened? And it's all changed because of technology and the Ubers and the Lyfts. Same thing with the in the movie is theaters or blockbusters. What has happened to Blockbuster? Netflix ruined that entire tape market. What is Netflix? Again, a technology company. It's not a movie company. So when I say that, to say that in insurance, what is that technology that is going to help you be existing at a much faster pace of growth with a larger accounts, with higher retention, with a niche focus, has to be a technology that is all encompassing, that is allowing you to grow at that pace. There's three things I want you all to remember. When you're talking about a solution like this, it helps you grow from three perspectives. Number one, it helps you bring consistency in your sales process with the sales funnel. And that sales process and that sales funnel will at least increase your sales productivity and your growth by 10% and more because of the consistency in the process, because of the technology that you will be using in automation, and because you will be able to not let things fall through the cracks. Number two, it's even more powerful, which is because you're not using 10 different technologies, you're not switching between these 10 different technologies. You're not copying data one from another. You know all these 10 things will not talk to each other. So no duplicates, no E&O, no copy and paste, and on top of it, you do not have to continuously switch context from one system to another. That switching context from one system to another increases your inefficiency. It can be increased up to 30%. So 30% of inefficiency you can just completely remove because by using one system. And third one, which I think is on top of these two, is identifying opportunities in current book of business. These agency management systems are great platforms, but they're not designed to be a business insights. They're not designed to be a business intelligence tool. So what do? We take data from there, but we need a system like InsuredMine or others, whatever works for you, that will allow you to look at the data in a story format. A visual story that tells you the health of your agency, that tells you the health of your producers, how well they are doing, that tells you the health of the deals, how, excuse me, what is the possibility of them getting closed in this particular time frame. And the fourth and the most important one is it will help you tell the health of a client relation based on the engagement, based on the communication or non-responsiveness from the clients. All that being visually represented to you to help you understand your business, nothing beats that. So these three things, when you add them up, and third one I would say, can be, excuse me, we have seen agency with $1 million book can find opportunity more than $250,000 in your current book. And so that is huge.
Got a question here, Roshan, in the chat about QQ texting.
So let me read that for you, Sandra. So if we use QQ text number built into QQ, does that text information sync over to InsuredMine? If you use InsuredMine text number given to us, does that information sync under the text field in QQ or in the log section in QQ? So if you have a number, Sandra, we will first try to see that is the same number we can sync. Most likely than not, if it is a VoIP number, we are able to sync that number and it will be the same number. And since we have Kapil on call, probably he's more technical in terms of confirming that is it syncing in the text field in QQ, Kapil?
Yeah, so if any SMS goes out from InsuredMine system, it will sync back to QQ. But if that QQ number built into QQ, so SMS goes out from that system, it will not sync back to InsuredMine. If that number is configured in InsuredMine, then we have that SMS in InsuredMine as well.
Yep.
In our chat history.
So we will make sure that it is only one number, and instead of having two numbers, we will align that number. And so you're using one system, one number, and one sync. Yeah, good question, Sandra. Thank you. Text field or log, Kapil? Where does that go to? It goes to a text field or it goes to a
Uh,
log?
it uh,
Yeah,
it
look
will
into
go
that.
to the
Mhm.
text field.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. Awesome. So that's in a nutshell is, in terms of making sure all these things are aligned. Let's now switch on to the next one, which is why InsuredMine. So these are some of the comments I captured based on our previous conversation with other QQCatalyst users. One of the reasons we have stayed loyal, I think that's a big word, but I would say, they are nice and committed customers. Relationship and service matters. Yes, of course, to us, not only the product that we provide, but also how we can make sure you are winning, because we win when you win. And we want to make sure your team is adopting the product. If there is a training need, if there are any issues that we can help, we will be with you, hand holding step by step, whatever is needed. And Paula and team, everybody does an awesome job in terms of making sure that is being taken care. How reliable are they and how quickly they fix issues? I think that's one thing. We are moving really, really fast. The kind of development we have done in this period, if we just wait on fixing every details of the issues before we roll it out, it will be 2 years before we roll out the next version. So we understand and we roll out with that grain of salt, and we expect some of those issues to be reported back, but we promise of our response to be lightning fast, so we are not able to just resolve them, but also be able to identify how you guys are using them. Ability to pick up the phone and call, we are available. Any issues that you say that, we will be able to take care of it. I can have response or a fix in 24 to 48 hours. It's funny, a lot of our customers, when they post it on Facebook or, directly to us, some of those discussions are happening on Thursdays and Friday, and by the time Monday they come to office, that is not only a feature that was rolled out over the weekend. So things like that, our ability to respond sometimes that fast, I think it goes a long way. On the same lines, our feedback is valued, and you are building a product that meets our need. Thank you. And I don't know how to react to the last one. I can call CEO and he responds. Well, my phone is available to everybody. It's in my signature, and people can just, I love to talk to our clients more than anything. So yes, always happy to take the call. If there is nothing, just call me and say hi. I'll be happy to, take that call. We love that kind of a relationship because, end of the day, it is not the software or anything else, but it's the relationship. We want to understand you. We want to understand your reason for growth. We want to understand what you want to do. And if we align those things together, there is nothing that is holding you back, and there is nothing holding us back from helping you achieve that. So that's in a nutshell is what we wanted to come out and talk to you about, the relationship, what we can do, the kind of integrations we have already built with QQCatalyst. And I'm sure if that raises a lot of question of what InsuredMine does from sales, from analytics, from mobility perspective, feel free to reach out. We will schedule a deep 1-hour demo, walk you through everything, how it is helping agencies, how agencies have already proven. We will share with you testimonials. We'll share with you current clientele who are using it, as well as some of the very specific workflows that is very helpful to agencies and how they're able to accomplish that. So that's in a nutshell is what I'll open it up for any questions for another 5 or 10 minutes before we bring a closure to this webinar.
No, I think the partnership we have with Vertafore is something really special. As QQCatalyst users, you should be very invested in that, and so are we. And Roshan and I spent some time in Denver with the team last week. We're continuing to work with their partnerships team, their product team, their marketing team, to make sure you're fully supported. It should feel like, one solution, which I think is the customer experience that you're seeing today. And we are an extension of your team, as Vertafore I'm sure is. So, always here to support, always here for feedback, and we'll continuously go to bat for you to be a one-stop shop.
Thank you, Tucker. And to add to that, obviously, we are also an Orange partner, and we are also one of the proud sponsor of NetView as a silver corporate sponsor. So, we are trying our best to be a part of this community and do everything we can. Obviously, it takes a village to build a solution. It takes a lot of support from the agencies that we work with. Anything we can do at any point of time, we are at your connection point. Feel free to reach out. With that, thank you everyone for your time. I appreciate it, and talk to you soon. Thanks.